Paul was the heavyweight champion, and I was the light heavyweight champion. We had got what we could get out of being at Walter's. So we were going to go to Memphis as a tag team so that we could split the price, expenses and stuff. So we never really tagged together. One show Walter put us together so that we could say we were tag team champions, to have that on our resume for the Memphis trip. And I have great respect for Paul. Paul's never done anything to me. He's always been fair to me. And him and I at one time were, like Walter's prize students, so we spent a lot of time one-on-one with Walter, the two of us and him, So, and Paul's always been good to me. And Paul had a very hard job. Like, he chose the job, so I don't feel sorry for him. But, anybody who thinks he got it easy by being with the McMahons don't know Vince McMahon. I guarantee he had it harder than anybody because Vince was a non-stop worker. He busted his ass. And some interview Vince had, I can't remember who it was with, but they asked him how was WWE or WWF at the time going to compete with Turner and his endless financial resources. And Vince's answer describes Vince perfectly. And he goes, that's easy, with our creativity and hard work. And sooner or later, Vince took back over, because of that. They work, you hear the guys who are writers. I can't even tell you how many writers didn't make it because Vince worked them too hard and they couldn't handle it, So Paul didn't have it easy being part of the McMahons, that made everything harder on him, I'm sure, And like I said, all them top guys is a political shit back and forth, and it always cracks me up because they all hate each other. Not one of them will ever say anything good about another one. They all bury each other behind their backs and shit. It's so ridiculous. But what do you call it? So like Paul was good with me. I'd never ask anybody for something. So anything I needed that Paul knew I needed, if he could give it to me, he gave it to me. I'm sure he tried to get me a job at the Performance Center. I was going down there every so many weeks, teaching for a week. And because of the company's public and all that, they have strict medical whatever it is, and I flunked the physical. I couldn't pass the physical. Otherwise, I'd have had a job at the Performance Center, but I flunked the physical because of my hips and shoulders, Both my shoulders have been replaced, and my hips need to be replaced. There'll be 1 or 2 days a week I can't walk, and I fall every week. My hip will just buckle and give out. So and I'm putting it off as long as I can, but I'm running out of time, and my hips have been bad for a long time. So then that's not Paul's fault that I couldn't pass the physical, Towards the end of my career, I was a severe drug addict, hot-headed, and always had a problem just keeping my mouth shut. I always say what's on my mind. So that's a big risk for a boss to speak up for you. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to end up making them look bad.
You told me a really kind of interesting story. It must have been when Paul was going to WCW. Didn't someone back into your car or?
A TV truck from a NBC station backed into me, and whatever the money was I used that money to move to Boston and pay for Kowalski's school. The local TV station there, because every town used to have, especially bigger cities like Cleveland, would have their own, NBC, CBS stations, and the driver just didn't see me or whatever and backed right up into me and smashed up one side of my car, the passenger side.
So and it was easily. Give me the whole story then. You write to Abner. He tells you to reach out to Kowalski. This ends up happening, and you're able to move there.
Yeah. First, when I first wrote Walter said I was too small to be a wrestler, and I couldn't, that he could train me to be a referee or something, which I didn't want to do. Then I got this money, and I let him know that I had the money to join. So he said, okay, I could join because, of course, he wanted the money. He goes, but you can't ever wrestle until you gain weight, which I said, no problem. I understand that. And whenever I told him my weight, I can't remember right now, I was actually smaller, And that's the first thing he said to me when he seen me. He took the money. He goes, you don't weigh 200 pounds or whatever I told him, And over time, I changed his opinion on the smaller guys because I worked, eventually I worked with, if he brought in a Honky Tonk Man and no one else, I was the one that worked with Honky Tonk Man. If he brought in like me and Paul worked, I think it was me and Paul worked, me with Honky and him with Bob Orton Jr. as a tag team, So I earned my way to it. They didn't even have a light heavyweight champion, but he created it for me, So I earned my way through that with Walter. But yeah, I would have had to save the money, and who knows how long it would have taken me to get the money to go there and have expenses. But I took just by freak accident, and I just didn't fix my car. I kept it smashed up, and it lasted a while longer, and then I had to get another shitty car,
That just told me that you were meant to do that, though, too.
In a business like that, you can bet they have insurance, so it was no issue. And whatever it was, I used that money and lived on that money, and got a job at a bar bouncing, and eventually became a DJ at the bar, which I made more money, So, and what do you call it? Yeah, if it wasn't for that money, I don't know how long it would have taken me to save the money. I just got out of the Army. I was trying to get shit together, and that happened, So it was pretty lucky for me,
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. It's kind of awesome how things like that happen.
Like I said, if it was a regular person, who knows how long it would have taken me to get the money because it was a company. It went right through, it didn't take long at all.